I see water, I see dolphins right away. I see little tunnel system embedded into the ocean floor. And there is like a big dome coming out from the ocean floor, and I feel there is more to it. There's bottom, down, 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 floors going down. And it goes like the dome has a structure. It's like in waves, crisscross. And it's covered like a fish egg with some membrane that is semi-transparent. And I see you. You're like an amphibian being. Kind of look like there's some features that you have of a seahorse. You do have legs, you do have arms, but the face kind of prolonged, like that seahorse face. But the eyes are human. It's just so weird to see, even with the eyelashes and like that. And that's the inside. It's the how do you say it? It's like I do see Venus, like I told you in our conversation before, and then there is an ocean inside the planet, like underneath the surface, and also there is a huge kind of like it's almost like a biodome connected to the nucleus or essence of the planet's um, soul. And it gives light. It's almost like when you light up a candle, it goes like this beautiful kind of bluish purplish light like this. And it goes all around the dome, and the dome has what comes to me 200 floors, and each floor is a different ecosystem. There is a floor, and around there's ocean, but when you're inside the floors, wait, I see. It's interesting. It's like you're looking at yourself being in the body of this hybrid, and you are looking at the little girl who is standing there with this long dark hair. You wear a suit, looks almost like a cosmonaut suit, but there's like rims here around the arms. And I see it's like a zipper, and you're standing in it's like a floor. I see beds, and I see the almost like a representation of a meadow with flowers and grass and hills. And in the middle of this, there's beds, and there are children sleeping on the beds. And you're the one who woke up, but they're not sleeping. They're just resting because they are in the suits like you. And you call yourself Zelda, and you're looking, you know exactly that your other part of you is incarnated and in the body of this humanoid amphibian, and you're communicating with yourself through that, looking at yourself through the glass. I see the telepathic conversation going on back and forth, and you're saying, how do you like it being in water? And you answer to yourself, I like it very much. It's different, it's fluent, but I also like nature you're in. And it's almost like your playmate or your best friend that you see every day, but you go to different floors to experience different, like during the day, it's kind of like Day and night are blend together. I think you have like few times during the 24-hour period for like about an hour, maybe 3 times, 4 times, that there's some energy that starts going around the dome from that flame coming from the essence of the soul of Venus, and it surrounds the dome. And then you have to lay still on the beds to absorb the energy. It feeds you. It's like absorption of energy for living that you do as little children. You say your age 8 is an equivalent to Earth, but you live 300 years normally, sometimes over that, but no longer than 400. And your parents are doing an important job. There are parents, they're male and female. I see them checking on some engine, and I see the spaceships. They look more like triangular spaceships, but not totally triangular. It's like a triangle, and then instead of straight line, it goes more like this. More like V, but upside down kind of shape. And on the sides, there's windows, and it's hovering over the on top. It's just actually really beautiful because Eiffel Tower, it's kind of like there are purplish transparent crystal structure buildings on those legs like Eiffel Tower standing up with the peaks, and they're like all over the place. And I totally see how they connect. There's energetic connection. It doesn't go straight like ley lines. They when they draw, it goes like in the waves. And this is the energetic waves that covers the whole entire planet. For It's like an energy information flow through those energetic lines, and exchange happens from the beings who live inside the planet, and on the surface it's kind of interesting. On the surface only adults, and it's as if they were going to work, but it's not really work. They do because they love to do it, and that's something they just do for the progress of their civilization. They all look like very tall, long limbs, long fingers. The eyes are like blue, like really beautiful color blue. Very like, it's almost like space. You look into the eyes and you don't see the bottom of them, deep and very prolonged, and like this jet black hair. And but the bodies are kind of the same. I don't really see I mean, I feel it by energy. I see it by hair. There's some feminine kind of in the eyes and the facial features. Males are more pronounced kind of features of the facial, but looking at the body, like I can't really detect the much difference. And they wear kind of like puffy suits. They're really kind of interesting. I'm asking you, were your parents and why are the suits? And you were saying that the oxygen on your planet is leaving the planet. Something's happening with atmospheric layers, that somebody sucks it out with a needle. You don't know any other explanation, but you say that there are evil species come and try to deplete oxygen from your planet, and that's why you build this eco dome underneath where the ocean floor collapsed on that timeline underneath the ground, and the ground got covered with, it's kind of interesting. It's like let me see who's, I see insectoids. I see a lot of insectoids right away on different spaceships or different forms. There are circular ones. There are even like kind of like spherical ones, but they're more prolonged, more like capsule, but sphere and capsule kind of in between. They have this big eyes. Mm, they look kind of that color, a very unpleasant color of the yellowish beigey kind of. They all look like with these huge black eyes, like big ants, and also there are those who look like grasshoppers but standing up on their legs, on their feet, upright position. And in charge of the whole group, Grace, like tall Grace, Zeta ones.
Yes.
Um, they just hovering over the planet. I feel like they try different attempts. They want to, first they wanted to explore civilization. They kind of go from planet to planet, as I understand, as a fleet of the ships. There's a lot of them. There's probably more than 50. And with the motherships also in them. And it's like 5 motherships, and the rest are smaller ones that go in and out of those. And they explore the planets, which planets they can take over and use for their own purposes to create colonies. They need to create colonies for trade, DNA trade, human, kind of in our perspective, human trade. They're more interested in DNA than technology themselves, because technology is, they steal it from other from other galaxies, and they deal with Draco Empire, because they're kind of under those also, but they're independent, but they it's a pact. It's a system created, artificially created, that overlays the laws of the universe that they're trying to disobey. And I see them surrounding all over the place, like the planet, like little dots of those ships all around. And they do insert some sort of, those are not needles, but more like hoses. Um, and they have these openings, and they start siphoning, sucking in the parts of atmosphere. And then I see, because the atmosphere is also composed of, it's like an informational field. They basically get information in, and it also has spread out energies of souls, like essence that would spread out into thin air to be part of it. They would suck in those too, to use them for research or for getting them incarnated, making them incarnated on Earth, because the Earth is the perfect environment that they artificially created, overlaid also, to keep an eye on souls and keep them under control. It's like their experimental field. Mm, so I see them surrounding and doing this, and they're just sucked out, and there are holes appearing in the atmosphere. And it's almost like the holes create the it's like the collapse of the atmospheric layers, and I see that there are no birds, but that looks like amoebas in blue color. They're just moving, and I think they're almost like dying, and I think they're part of those layers. They do something. It's just like an energy exchange, information energy exchange. They also are like satellites. They absorb the information from space, and if there is danger or something, impulses coming, that something's happening to other galaxy or planetary system or constellation, whatever close by, that they would conduct the impulses of that frequency down to those are labs. Those are all the buildings that I see, the purplish color, transparent. Those are like working place, but they are experimental labs, and also exploration of space, connection, diplomatic activity, exchange. Kind of like came to me as a student exchange type thing, because I see some kind of look like Pleiadian beings. They come by ships. Their ships are round, flat, and they would come to learn something and to exchange their information with your information. And this is seventh density. So basically, they're trying to invent something to do something about the loss. It's not only oxygen; it's something else too that I cannot explain. It's almost like sparkling translucent dust that they are losing, and that sparkling translucent dust, it's supposed to protect them as a layer of protection from invaders that they're losing. So the immune system of the planet is going down fast speed, and they're in panic in a way because they have to literally. I see four people, Venetians, they board on a spacecraft, and they have to go to each hole and cover it up energetically. There's a container that they use, and there's some energy in this container. Almost looks like a soft Play-Doh type thing. It's a blend of some micro elements and elementals of the from underground, some crystal dust or whatever it is. They're patching right now, but it keeps happening that they come and do it, and then at some point, let's see what happens next. Zeta Grace come by huge mothership. They park in the atmosphere, and they do holographic projection of themselves, two of them, like represent others, and they appear in your lab. I see the laboratory. I see the floor, transparent floor. I see you standing around. There are six of you, and they're saying that we can help you. The atmosphere is losing its properties, and for the safety of you and your children, we can take you on board, and we can take you to Mars. There's another beautiful planet that you can live on. It's similar to Venus, and I see you boarding on. It's
Right.
it's like you take the children and everything, like you're all boarding.
Not good.
Yeah, and but the problem is it's a trap. They created the problem and they created the solution, which is a trap. Because when you get to Mars, it's like they created the colony. They create a colony. I already see some reptilian colony there. I see some humans who look more like Atlantean humans there too. I see the original people from Mars with blonde hair, blue eyes. Eyes look like transparent light blue water. Very pretty. White skin. Children separated from parents because children are, can be programmed, and they also test children in different groups what they can do, what they can be helpful for them for their different missions, exploration of other universes too, opening portals, stargates, because the our souls have this ability. We can do all of it for them. And I see you going inside like just like a long tunnel goes underneath. They created it looks like dome kind of system, but it's made out of rock. I see like it's a cave inside, but it's round. It's brownish kind of color, and they separate you in different groups. And I see you're looking at the tank. There is like a laboratory that they take you to, and that's the only time when you see your other part of that amphibian being there. And you look through the, it's like a big tank, and there are a lot of those amphibians swimming in it. And other children have their parts too there. I know, just like their nature to split up in two and to experience something, two lives at the same time together on the same planet, being aware of both of your parts at the same time, experiencing different things, and also connecting, being best friends type thing. Um, and then you see how they just keep that other part of you for research, for genetic research, for taking DNA. And basically you're split in two, 50-50. And that other 50, you went through some condensation process. I see you in a lab tube, and I see you're like trying to get out. And they try to squeeze you into some cloned body also, because they use some of the DNA of that amphibian part of you. And I see you like almost like screaming, I don't want to be in this body. No, 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 I don't want to be in it. And then they take you out and decide to do a different thing. They put some bright yellow, fluorescent kind of green solution, and I see like it envelops you. I'm like it's around you, and it creates like a bubble over your bubble, and starts pushing you inside. Like, but it does it because you're scared. You're actually getting smaller, and so some sort of condensation happens. I see almost like a molecule goes inside the molecule of your energy, of your essence, of your soul, and it gets like built up inside, and it's got kind of like the feeling of being heavy, stuck, and small. And with that feeling, they send you to incarnation. And I see you in Swiss Alps. You speak Italian, though. It's some Italian tribal kind of village. I see Italians going over Alps to live on the Swiss side. And I see you coming from Italy there. And you're actually, again, a little girl. But you have this blue eyes and darkish hair. And just mother and you. I don't see anybody else. But you're kind of like bunched up in a big group, large group, going over the mountains. And then you create this village. There's probably around, around 50 huts there that you built out of wood, like wooden log houses. And it's a nice life. There's nothing really, except it's like you see other kids have their fathers and you don't, and you feel like a part of you is missing, a part of your mother is missing, part of your family is missing. And that reminds you, it's this life was designed through the contract that um, basically you signed with them. We'll go to that how it happened later. And just to keep reminding you that you are not whole, that you're small, you're helpless, not whole. And you have to constantly search for your second part in all the lives. All the 60 lives that you had, you've been searching and searching for your other part because the other ones feel like the same, except there is one life that I see that you they let you live until you were 5 and then you drown. It's some sort of lake in the mountains. I feel like it's somewhere Eastern Europe. It's just it's like a border of Poland, somewhere there, because I hear Polish spoken. But there is a lake there. There's like hills, mountains, kind of like, yeah, more like mountains covered with grass, so hills, and a lake. And you just go like with other kids, and you jump in the water from the rope hanging down from the tree, and you just kind of like fall funny. And I think underneath it's something it's either a rock or something you hit your head and on and kind of and that was like because you were conscious still, and I see your soul coming out because your soul understand the body is not gonna survive. But from that, they wanted to create this. It's kind of like dissociation, not dissociation. They split the trauma to make you fear water in that life and other lives, and to make you forget, even though you never did, forget that the other part of you is amphibian and you very much have to deal with water and the fluency of it and the clarity of thought, also, and connection of being able to see things that others cannot see through that connection to water. And so going back to those insectoid forms, there's like literally 30 of them standing in your energy sphere. There's so many. And there's two Zeta Grays kind of watching them over. And here the boss comes, huge with big giant tail, kind of reddish, kind of brick looking skin. I feel like he's got, let me touch. He's like 48% of reptilian, and the rest is Mitra. Mitras are very aggressive reptilians. So he's the one, and then behind him is a Draco, but he's like clean Draco DNA. So four of them plus 30 of those insectoid forms, kind of like who do the research for them, basically. Um, and I'm just looking at your body, scanning for. There's some foreign substance going on. There's this fluorescent thing that they injected into the uh, glass lab um, tube that is in like got absorbed and circulating in your body, and it's just kind of funny. It's like long capsules. They used to be like one whole, but then they broken down into little parts. But they're going like a train, like one after another. It looked like from far away like a snake, but they're constantly scanning the body for them to see your consciousness development process, your understanding, how you understand things, how something how the process goes of the outside or your interaction with others triggering some memories, because they want to figure out how to block the memories, because people are waking up and they are really trying hard to figure out the technology or biological weapon type thing to block those memories coming to surface. And they have a lot of people like they're studying how this process of awakening happen and how they can corrupt that process or slow it down. That substance does this, and also it's kind of keeping you in this, you're like you can spread out, you can expand kind of situation feeling. It's more about the feeling, because they know that humans are all about feelings the way they created. Basically not created, but the way they modified us. And that's kind of like pressuring, pushing those memories up, up, up through some dreams, um, through coming to you, scaring you in the middle of the night. You think it's a dream, or you get a feeling that somebody is by you, nearby you, or watching
Mhm.
you, or things like that. But it's them trying to put you in this kind of mode of questioning everything, and am I even is it even true if I'm listening to myself, or is it just like I'm imagining it or making it up and things like that. Like they try to influence that train of thought kind of idea. And this fluid I see that's dotted, kind of like dots on the surface of epithelium, like the skin surface, also like spots.
Mhm.
And the stomach is, there's a lot of those, that fluid accumulated in the stomach, and you're saying has to be drained. And the connection to them is from umbilical cord. It's like a bright blue ray of light going straight to Mars, to you yourself being that little girl there, and you yourself also, it splits, being that amphibian. So it's kind of like whatever happens to them, you feel as they wave. So I want to say scalar wave coming at you and hitting you, like whatever they experience, like pain, hurt, scared, question, digging more truth inside or outside, and you know that you just totally experience that it's coming from that part of you. So I'm just trying to see. There's something I feel on your back. Really feel it, but I don't see it. When you touch your back, it's kind of like, like the when the ladybug opens the wings to fly.
Yes.
It's kind of like that. It's together in a novel, but then there's a split, and when they open up, it's that the energy that they take from you is related to emotions, feelings, and it's going through the head, spinal cord. It's that kind of like they take. They need to take it for. I mean, they put your energy in different. It's almost like they drain 20% of your consciousness from this physical body. That's what I see. And then I see a bubble, like a sphere. It's this dark blue inside, light blue outline outside, and they put it in different cloned bodies that they took the DNA from the amphibian in those bodies. And I see 5 of them, and they would modify, enhance them, put weaponry inside, or change something up, or infuse more DNA, and try to put you in there. And then I see like a huge holographic, um, it's like a world, but it's all a hologram. And inside that hologram, like a bubble, they can project different situations, different planets, different environments from different planets. Like they come to a planet, they scan it. If they cannot get to it, they would just scan it, all the parameters, everything about it, the frequency, how it's built up, and then they duplicate it in this hologram. And they would try to see if this particular clone was your particular consciousness would figure out some things, how to maneuver through the frequencies, how to maneuver through the electromagnetic fields, light information fields, things like that. It's something has to do with them trying to send a bunch of clones on a mission to infiltrate that planet too. Say like that this kind of stuff they do. Um, so when they do that, you might feel like you might feel some disturbances in the and pains in the back or heaviness, and you also might feel like being tired, like your body is tired. And that's when they do
Sure.
that. Yeah, when they pull the part of you out. And the other part they leave, which is interesting because they would usually take the whole entire etheric body or energy body out. So you take off those things. They're almost like hanging on your shoulders like clippers. You take them out. They really are massive. They go down to your kind of behind your knees on the back, those wings, and you create like a fireplace and you put them inside the fireplace to burn. They kind of melt like plastic, and you take this, create this handheld vacuum type machine. Looks like a rectangular thing with a tube. It just starts sucking all the energy from lymph nodes, from vessels, from capillaries, from organs, from stomach, most of it, all sucking it out. And They used to, I see that they used to put different implants on you, like they would take you out, actually whole. Wait. No, they would do it differently. I thought it was you by your energy body, but it's actually you're kind of like semi-transparent as that girl, little girl on Mars that I took from Venus, and then they would put that girl on like reclining chair, and they would insert something in the heart, looks like a sphere, like a metal sphere, and they would see how it affect you here in the physical, from her to you. And that's why all kinds of experiments, or and then they would take it out, this implant, and see how you would react. And then they would put something on the head, looks like a ring, with some wires sticking out on the back, and go into some machine. It would send different impulses, like stimuli, let's say, in a negative way, low vibrational ones. Would see how you react. So things like that. I mean, they would just through that girl that would affect you. Um, so you took out the implants, 60 lives, so that they on the back too, and the uh, the DNA is blue and circling 88. So the before somebody had it because it looks kind of like particular motion it does. It's kind of spins. Two of them in a tight spin, and there is lots of them like that connected through the codons that connect to other spinning, like interconnected into a bunch. And you go back, all the way back to the timeline, and you tell your parents. When parents come, I mean, they basically just spend some time there at the lab, and then they come back to underground, to the dome where the kids are. And you kind of like you make a projection on the wall from your mind into the wall, from the, like I see it like from your forehead, and you see what's going to happen. They're going to come, they're going to offer a solution, but it's a trap. We don't want to do that. So I see all your people on Venus, they just get together with one thought, um, and create this purple, bright purple light. They do something. They actually go into those towers on the surface. They stand in a circle holding hands, and with one thought in each tower to protect the planet and refusing to participate in any negotiation with those zeta grays, those insectoids. And that it's like creates a ring or layer of purple energy around the planet. And that timeline kind of falls off. It's kind of like a lizard loses a tail. You're showing me like that, and so goes into the black hole like you were never taken to Mars. 5 of those clones, I see them like glass when you break it, just falling apart because you don't have your energy anymore. That amphibian was connected to clones and was giving them energy, like around 5-7% to each one. And I see as a girl there, back there again, and your other part is that amphibian being. And I see like you're celebrating, but it's rather energetic celebration. It's kind of like the unity feeling in your chests. And I see sparkles going off of your chests, like energetic sparkles. It creates warm feeling inside that you'll enjoy. Um, and you also give the information to the reptilians who were taken over, colonized on Mars, and used by military and by Dragos because they're sent on missions to Earth also to control humanity. You send information to them too. You actually ask the Drago in charge to give you your cube. A cube is a box. It's like a dark black box. You look inside, there's a pyramid inside. It's a blue. It's made out of 5% of your energy. That's the contract, basically, that you signed. Mm, you didn't really sign it. You were just too scared. And basically, when you're scared, you agree to everything. It's like a silent yes that they took from you in a very sneaky way. Created this pyramid to kind of keep your energy no matter what, so you wouldn't be able to escape. You take it and you hammer it down. Looks like a big inflatable hammer you created out of your energy. And you just disperse the little tiny particles of it. Um, and they all go into the black hole. They first get dispersed and then kind of like go in there. You directed them by your thought and you order them to go out of your energy sphere. All this army of insectoids. So that is that reptilian and that Draco. They're going out. You close the portal door. Don't see anything else around your energy sphere. And then you just want to defragment your mental body and your emotional body also. And you create a waterfall of beautiful blue water. You just let go through it like a door, and it just cleanses everything, turns all the energies, all the little clusters of dark energies in your mental, emotional bodies into bright air-like energy that sparkles a little. And just standing there smiling, basically. Like a sigh of relief from you, I got. So,
Have they been around a lot? The zetas and the insectoids?
you know how they were affecting you? They were mostly affecting you through you yourself as a little girl. But then sometimes they would come to you to watch while they're doing something in the lab, experimenting on the girl, that part of you as a girl. They would stand by your bed literally when you're asleep, when the conscious mind is off, to look at your body, how it's either convulsing or not, like what it does. Yeah. So
So what color is my DNA?
I see it blue, and your aura is kind of bluish.
Bluish,
But
and that's more water.
yeah, yeah, it's water, and it's also like blue sun, which is more like Pleiadian kind of, which I see always on the left, and the Venus I see right here. So, but I also feel like you're a traveler. You're some space
Many.
traveler. You like going to places, experiencing, but that's the people kind of should understand, I guess, more this aspect of us is at a soul level. We like to experience different things, and sometimes we just disperse and split, and we go to all the galaxies of the same universe at the same time. Which, and then, they ask where I'm from, and I'm like, well, you're from everywhere, but it's not really where you're from originally. You're originally from the original source of that big, big cluster of energy that has, and there has no end to it, right? Which
Right.
is actually is one spark, but it gets it expands as we experience more and create more. It expands, so it's ever expanding cloud of consciousness or blanket of consciousness that never ends and never stops expanding. That's where we come from.
So I was listening to you today. I guess you were, or maybe it was yesterday, talking about RH positive and negative and stuff.
Mm.
I'm positive. My mother's not a negative, RH negative. I don't know if that means anything.
Your
I
mother is
think
not?
she is not. Not that I don't think so. I think we're all O positive.
Well, then you're not so easily to get manipulated, even though look, you know, but that's
Well, I
why
don't buy
they
into the
created
stuff
you
going
on
on. I
Mars,
haven't.
because they couldn't directly manipulate your DNA at the physical level. See, your DNA is clean here. They didn't insert and didn't do anything to it. So, but the ones, people with Rh negative, I see a lot of DNA manipulation. Like they usually would insert some certain percentage of Jago reptilian DNA into their original DNA. It's
So
easier to
that's.
do for some reason.
Well, let me ask you something. I like animals better than people. Is that
Hmm.
something I should be doing, or
Because you're at this level of consciousness, your last incarnation before the Earth, if we think of linear time, was in sevenths, and it's like you're more connected to nature. Look at the inside the planet you were. I mean, you were in energies of nature. Each and every level where kids were, it was like little replica of mountains, of ocean, of the beach, of the meadow, And of course, there
yeah,
were animals there, and but it's animals represent nature to you, the vibration of love without boundaries, that unconditional love that everybody's looking for.
mm-hmm.
And at the very physical level, it's hard to find it because it's like we're conditioned through programming to have a condition attached to it.
Right.
You have to be very high consciousness to actually just love the person the way he or she is, despite that person's belief systems. Yeah.
That is hard because it
Yeah.
doesn't. The only one in this family that doesn't go along with what is happening right now, and it cause a lot of this. I mean, my son thinks the same similar way that I think.
Mhm.
Um, thank God there's one of them, so I have somebody I can talk to. But um, almost all of them have done things they shouldn't have done, in my opinion.
Right. Well, it happens in every family. It's by design. It's like a duality thingy, you know? Family is a
Oh,
creation of the matrix, therefore it can be controlled, and it is controlled by the entities behind, and that's why they try to insert the program of you have to have guides and you have to listen to them, and they're the ones who direct you for incarnations with this particular family members, and you owe something to this family members, and that's why you incarnate with them to, and then you suffer again over and over, because you don't remember what you're supposed to, you know what mistakes you made before and what you're supposed to undo,
right.
and I mean it gets more tangled up. And they specifically put certain people in each and every family. There's at least one person who would absolutely drive you crazy. So, no,
So I must be the one that's driving them crazy.
by design. Well,
Yeah.
in this case, we're more towards here the victory coming. So in this case, you're more like trying to wake them up or by your vibration, by your energy field that carries information around you, which they really, it drives them crazy because they totally do not resonate with it, you know?
So I have a
So they
higher
try to push you away.
vibration.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they're in denial with their own souls. There is a dissonance going on in between their physical parts and the soul parts. So there's
Oh,
constant fight. Soul wants one thing for the physical to do, and physical's pushing its own agenda. And soul is not happy. So,
yeah. I don't think most of them are happy at all. But I'm miserable too because I can't get any of them to listen to me for the most part.
mm, you cannot. Yeah, because right now it's kind of like split in consciousness. War, spiritual war in consciousness, split in consciousness. Because by design, this planet, they put so many souls from so different walks of universe and universes with different experiences, different, therefore, they form different belief systems, different understandings. They decode reality in different way. So how
Uh,
could you ever, you can only make peace with each other if you're high consciousness and you respect everybody for differences. But it's not only at the surface level, like it's going on here, you know,
mhm.
but at the very, very deep heart, soul level, you know. But
Have
it's not easy.
no. Do you see any um well, I guess we can talk after because I don't want to talk about certain things. When I leave my body at night, what am I doing most of the time? Anything or
They would try to hold you down in your body. They would not let you. And I feel like if you would go into trance, they would like blanket your vision. That's what I feel. Unless they would want you to see them to get scared, they would show their faces. But
yeah, I don't want to see their faces.
eh, I'm
I
used to
mean,
it.
yeah, I'm sure you're used to it.
They're pathetic, really. Just
I'm no, anything that tries to really control other beings is just I also really love crystals. Is there something there that you see?
yeah, because you're like a crystal yourself. You're like water, like crystal, fluent crystal, like more like um, liquid crystal type. You know, you have this deep connection to water, and water reminds you of crystals, and also everything on your planet and overall what you know from other planets runs on crystals. Crystals carry information, crystals supply energy, spaceships run on them, labs are, based on crystalline energy, and computers are all crystal powered. That's, but you despite these lives, like you never forgot who you are. That's why your soul overpowers your conscious mind. In your case, your conscious mind leads you and drives your car, and not the conscious mind. No.
So a lot of stuff is hidden in my subconscious mind or
Yeah, yeah, there's a lot of information that you feel is there, and it's
like
gonna get uncovered layer by layer. In terms of, your other incarnations in this universe and other universes, it's
what
gonna
do you
be
see
like energetic discs coming out up to the surface.
and how can you keep working on that to improve that?
Speaking of energetic circles, I forgot to tell you that this liquid that was kind of like acid, acidic, and
Uh-huh.
it's funny thing. I noticed that it kind of like dissolved the chakra overlays, like those energetic discs that I usually see. They got eaten
Hmm.
up by the fluid, with the green fluorescent fluid.
That's a
Mm.
good thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
My heart okay, or I've been
Your
told they
your that something's wrong with it. Probably because they wouldn't insert an implant, take it in, put it in, and take it out
yeah.
periodically into the girl.
Well, I haven't been told medically because I don't really go to doctors. I stay
Mm,
away. And right
right.
now I would never go.
No,
I
no,
just
right now it's too complicated. It's
yeah,
like, flying
I'll
to
die at
different country.
oh yeah. I'm sure the hospitals are reptilian run at this point.
Oh yeah, Mantis, Grace. I mean, the experimental labs. That's what they love to do. That's their centers.
It's
They
okay.
are totally connected to etheric level where they have experimental labs there. And they like doing research at the same time at the etheric level and physical. That's what they do. And their favorite thing to do is to put some substance into your body, split up your body, take the energetic body out, put it into the other other etheric lab, keep the physical one. The best scenario would be at the hospital, and do surgery or whatever at the same time on both of your bodies. That's just like the best thing for them that they strive to do. That's why they push so many people for surgeries and things like that. Some intervention which would cause in return the other intervention, because the experiment has to go on.
Oh
But of
yeah, I'm
course,
sure.
sometimes it's necessary. I'm not saying that all surgeries are bad, but you know, but yeah,
Well, I did have once, like about quite a few years ago. They removed an ovary and there was a baby in there or something. Like small.
right.
I don't know what that was about, but
I don't see a baby there. I see a clump of that greenish thing that accumulated in that ovary. That was expanding. It was about to burst. That
oh, so
green
it's good.
green fluid. Yeah, well, it saved your life.
That's good because I don't, I rarely will go to a doctor. Sometimes to my detriment, but for the most part, I don't think so. I use herbs. I use other things. I try to eat more alkaline when I don't feel well. But I was not well for a couple of months. But it was just I wasn't. I couldn't breathe. I just didn't have a sense of taste or what else. I was tired a lot, real tired.
Oh, just like the symptoms of the famous. You know what I also feel? Because we merged with people who had it, and because there are some substances. I know people say it's all clean, but I still see substances they spray in the air
Oh
that would
yes.
go into inside of you and will mimic um the very symptoms of that famous thing everybody talks about, because they want to create more fear and you know lure more people into the hospitals by mimicking, spreading pathogens that would mimic the symptoms of that particular thing.
Yeah. I never.
Just like constant pushing. It's a psychological attack on people, and when you constantly, it's like a psycho attack. You constantly insert fear into people's heads. At some point, they lose their rational thinking. They become like a tribe, or they don't think for themselves. They lose the analytical ability, and they just go as a herd of sheep to save their lives as they told them to do. So
They don't seem to be able to get a hold of me that way.
No, no, I had those symptoms too, so you're not alone. I've had all kinds of, yeah, the heart hurting, yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't taste, don't funky taste and funky.
Yes.
It's all around. It's like they're spraying, they're putting in food and water. They're trying so hard. But guess what? We just developed the well, we can call it natural immunity that lasts a lifetime, or energetic immunity, like I more gravitate towards. So our energy repels that low vibrational energy they're trying to bombard us with by using the wave technology and substances.
Well, they were
That's the
doing that today. They were doing it today. Crisscross.
mm.
And they,
Well, because before the session, there's a lot of stuff happens to people usually because they're really those who are with you in your energy sphere never want you to have a session, liberate yourself. So, I mean, people have all kinds of trouble with. I mean, I myself, if I told you the story how I was trying to pay for my own regressive hypnosis sessions back then, I mean, it's ridiculous. I just couldn't. It would freeze my card. It would not go through. I mean, all kinds of stuff. I literally had to ask somebody to do it for me because it just that the entities that were in my energy sphere were blocking my way. You know.
yeah,
So that's how they act. Or they insert the in your head, I don't think I like her anymore. Or I don't think I even need the why would I need a session, or or maybe I should wait. That this thoughts, like I'm laughing because I had those thoughts myself.
right.
That's how they act.
Yeah. I think yeah, I know what you mean. But I've always thought that I need it. So you
Yeah.
they can't that way. I mean, I'm pretty stubborn.
Yeah, yeah. My husband canceled sessions twice. I mean, no kidding. Well, right before. Yeah. So,
What are you gonna do? Huh?
yeah.
That's funny. You know, my ex-husband, do you see that he was like a dark being?
He has a mask on his face, a black mask, looks like Venetian masquerade, kind of, in a cloak. Looks like
Uh,
a Batman
oh,
figure, superhero figure. And he feels like he's very powerful and he can manipulate people. He thinks he can read their thoughts and manipulate their thoughts.
oh wow.
Kind of like controlling inside feeling.
I don't feel much of a connection between us any longer. He's like remarried and stuff.
Mm.
I think she's a pretty dark soul, honestly.
Well, if he attracted by vibration, we'll come to each other by vibration.
I don't really know why we got together, but it was never like a strong connection, if that makes any sense at all.
Right. I see you searching because you had like a lot of burden there and a lot of trauma sustained throughout those 60 lives, and you were searching for to kind of make yourself, you felt heavy inside, and
Mhm.
searching for knowledge to elevate all of that.
I'm always searching, always, always. Is that 60 lives, Earth and the last?
No, it's just Earth.
Just
It's
Earth.
just an Earth. Mm.
And then galactic? Do you, do you have
Oh,
like,
more than 300, 320. So God,
so,
in universal, in this universe in particular.
did I like one in particular?
I see you as a butterfly.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, like a
What,
jet butterfly.
what?
But it's like straight into my face, almost like sitting on my nose. Bright orange color with red, what looks like hearts, almost spots.
Well, you know what? That's funny because you talk, and I've listened to you talk about guide that you really need to connect to your higher self.
Hmm.
But I've been told I do have an Andromedan guide. So is that just like a gray or something, or just like not some?
They read the information of this beings in your energy sphere. And you've been on Andromeda, um, but they didn't mean sometimes people read information of you, your own self, in other density
Right.
and other galaxy. And because you're always connected, it's all goes and all the lives are going in parallel, remember, right? So
Yes.
you can siphon information from this incarnation, that from all 320 incarnations you can get information. And that's why people come up with all these inventions and all this, because it's already been invented over there in space and different galaxies.
Right.
We're just getting to it because we're delayed, you know, thanks to those who did it to us. But
This has got to end sometime soon, honestly. It's too much.
right, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's ending.
You see next year
It's
better?
definitely,
Next year, do you think will be better?
yeah, yeah. I see the spring, summer, like warm feeling, happiness.
Oh,
That's what I
thank
feel.
God. Have you heard of I don't know how they pronounce it. It's XI Earth Star. She's
I can, oh, you wanted to ask about some people. I can turn
yeah.
off the recording and ask so we don't,
All right. Yeah, for sure. I don't want to ask about certain things that are. Can I ask one thing about
yeah, move
uh
on a little bit.
Arcturus? Arcturus.
Right. Uh-huh. Yeah, sure.
Do you see anything there?
I see a big field. I I see like spiral buildings, beautiful spiral buildings. I see a lot of nature. I see like center and the buildings are like not touching nature. Everything is like agronomically built to fit into the landscape. Very tall, bluish skin beings, big, almond-shaped eyes. You've been
Was
a wise person there.
I was a wise person there?
Yeah. I see there's a male actually. Was the it almost looks like a kimono type thingy with the belt.
Huh.
You have very like this part like a dolphin sticks out, big head,
And that's why I'm connection
bald.
bald.
Mhm.
They have big heads, don't they?
Mhm. And yeah, it's like proportionally, it's like the head is gonna kind of too heavy for the body, but yeah, but the
What
density is different. So,
what's their density in um
oh, I see you in 11s right there. So it's more like, um, you know how sometimes like underwater when you look,
mhm.
everything's like moving. I see it's like moving. It's that flexible. You can shape and shift your body into anything you want. That's kind of like how I see it.
So you can
And
present yourself in a certain way and then you come across whatever way you want to, basically.
right, you are the creative lab. You like to create things.
Do
Um,
I like a scheme of what I've done through my lives? I mean, certainly in this earth life, I've been searching, and that I can clearly see.
mhm. Well, you're educating there, and you're teaching how to blend energies, how to create out of your own energy without touching anybody else's energy.
Oh,
So
that's good.
creating out of your own energy, expansion of your own energy and creation. So any animal, any plant, anything, ocean, on the planet, how to create a planet, how to build it from square one by igniting your spark, you know,
Can you,
creating kind of like taking a little part of you and expanding it.
so
You
I
can
can,
expand it into a universe
oh,
too.
wow. So I can help this world if I can, like, well, I'd like to help this thing go forward because I'm like at the end of my run.
Here's this thing. A lot of people who are coming, right, for sessions. I
Mhm.
see that I see them in the future, in the near future, being getting together and actually it I can't really say it's work, just helping at these healing centers, at the healing areas, and they are outdoors in the
Do
nature, all of this.
do you
For
see me?
those who changed their mind, who woke up unexpectedly, for those people, they'll need our help. That's what I see.
And do you see me doing that?
Yeah, you're gonna laugh, but I see you was a reindeer.
Oh, I love reindeers.
Yeah, I see you touching a baby one.
Oh, that's beautiful. I
Yeah,
just I just love animals. They're beautiful things.
yeah, they're high vibration, high consciousness. Yeah.
Do you see that that's the problem as all of us, I'm just talking in general, being in the 3D density or dimension, that it just makes it so hard to raise your vibration? Or is that just my
Um, it's kind of like you have to work. It's your responsibility to work on yourself and to see some beauty in everything or even if something is happening, you just think of it as it just another step to something bigger and better because we all go through ups and downs. It goes up and down like this. It cannot go straight. You cannot be in bliss constantly. You would be not natural.
I don't know
Um,
if I'm in bliss ever, but
but I mean, when you see like like a bird, we saved was
oh,
the kids and the pigeon and brought him to the healing, the pigeon rehab and all this. I mean, of course, your vibration drops because you're like, the poor guy is just bleeding from his eye. But then you get happy because he recovers and he's released in nature. So, I mean, it's always up and down, but at the same time, you like focus on the right thing to do that feels good in your heart, and little by little, if everybody contributes a little, we elevate the vibration. We feel kind of strong inside. The idea to go through this life to get the knowledge and strengths and believe in yourself. So when you get out, when you decide, you're the one to decide to get out of this body, like life. I'm done with life. I'm tired. I don't want to do it anymore. And then you just trust yourself. Okay, I want to go there. That's where I'm going. Not listening to anybody, no matter how much they try to distract me, because you base everything on knowledge. And when you're knowledgeable, you're true to yourself. You're secure. You trust yourself 100%. So that's the idea um, of the whole journey here.
yeah, it's a tough journey. I mean, is do you feel this?
It's created that way. It's created to be tough. Like people, people call it a prison planet. I feel like it's like an experimental lab slash colonized planet.
Like it?
There's a lot of colonized planets like this too, and beings under the pressure and control under tyranny. And we're all this universe is fed up. It's like a universal level type war
Right.
going on right now. So we as the energy gets elevated in other planets also, they're doing the same thing we're doing. And you know how it is. It's like this. In etheric, we're doing something and the information spreads to others. Chain reaction. All the planets know what we're doing.
So they feel
And
you. They feel you. Do you put protection around yourself, or because you have no implants, you don't need to do that?
I used to, but I don't do anymore. When I put somebody in trance, I usually say when I count person into trance that out of your energy create a energy protection, a sphere or a cocoon around you, so you feel protected in the duration of the session, just out of your own energy, of your soul's energy,
Oh,
and they
I would
feel
like
protected, they feel, so that's
this.
good because you need to feel confident, you need to trust the person who puts you in trance, you need to
Right.
feel confident in yourself, your abilities to see and feel. So
So you
But
can do trance work? Like, can I do trance work with you?
yeah,
Or
yeah, a lot of people come after they have a session of implants removal, then they come for a session when they go into trance. I mean, if
oh,
you scroll through, you'll see the same people, even with faces not blurred, you know. I did a session for them, but then this person came to me and she went into trance, or he
well,
went.
this is the second session I've done with you, and but I think that I rather do some trance work because that goes deeper, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's because when you do the work, it's totally like different feeling. You're proud of yourself. You see, you felt it was your own feelings. You don't necessarily have to see. It's information just keeps pouring, coming, you know. And
Hmm.
yeah, of course. I mean, it's a different kind of also progress is faster a lot of times that way too. Not always, but
Yeah.
it just depends. For some people, it's a great stimulation and, you know.
Maybe it'll help me remember better because I don't remember any of this stuff. It's just like a blank. And
Mm,
maybe because you said they were blocking me or doing something
yeah,
to.
yeah, you have to, yeah, and through doing it by yourself, you start believing and trusting yourself more also. You know how it feels.
Right. Well, I do healing work with like pendulums, you know. I mean, just to try
Mm.
to clear stuff. I don't know if that's working at all, but energy is, extremely powerful thing. And, I'm not that good at it, but
No, well, see, you're kind of blocking yourself right here. I'm not good at it.
so, yeah, you have to be kind of, what is the word?
Uh,
Non-emotional. What is the word?
uh, yeah,
Detached.
but that's who you are. I mean, you can't be, there's no rules. That's why I never liked all those Reiki and other stuff because there's certain rules you have to follow. And
Right.
no, 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 that's not how souls are. We don't have the rules. We only have the feeling inside if it's a good thing for me and others to do. It
Right.
provides good feeling and for the good of me and the others, then I do it. But there's no certain rules how to do it. I'm very unique. You're unique. Everybody's so unique. So we do it different ways, but we achieve the same goal. So, um,
How about meditation? Do you do that?
I used to do it, but then I meditated to the point of I used to go like this in meditation. That's when my Kundalini happened, and that was not a good experience,
I
but
don't
it
think
brought
that
me
happened for
to,
me, but yeah, I
yeah,
don't,
it
I
brought
don't.
me to my first session though.
Well, it breaks things through, doesn't it? It can kill you too, can it? If
I
it goes.
almost killed me with electrical currents going through my body day and night when I had four young kids to take care of. I
Like,
mean, I couldn't sleep at night.
oh, that's
Yeah,
horrible. But
yeah, it was crazy.
eventually you do want to go through it. I mean, it's just I'm very far away from that, I think.
Oh, you don't have to go through this Kundalini. I think my soul was just thinking like, Oksana, you've been waking up for so long. Come on, I'm gonna hit you hard here. And I mean, that's what happened. But I've been meditating since I was 16.
Oh, okay. I have a hard time meditating. Again, is this because of this other stuff? I mean, sometimes.
Yeah, they were blanketing you. They were literally but like holding you in the body like a blind kitten, you know. That's what they usually try to do with people.
That's not very nice,
Yeah.
but they're not
Yeah.
nice. Is my third
Well,
eye open or
yeah, you're clean now. You're like clear water
or
type
what?
thing.
Oh, yahoo. Well, I think I'll use a protection for a while and maybe sometime in January. December is a rough month. I can start doing that like once a month or something, if that's good
Mhm.
with. And I would like to like start. I know that you can see stuff that there's no way I can see at this point anyway. I would love to know.
Yeah. Well, it also like I've always been seeing it. I mean, my very first session I did. I'm disconnecting from you. No more questions, right?
No, no.
Yeah. Yeah, but the first session was like I was shocked that I could see so much. I could see so well. Um, so but that's something I do. That's something they've been using me for an SSP. It's something I do because I've been a mostly amphibian being and always in water. And like I said before, people with deep connection to water, I have this ability to see. And also how they created me. They did create me like in the lab, basically, and inserted me in my mother's body. But they wanted to do it because they wanted to use me at the government level for talking to aliens, communicating with them telepathically. And
Right.
I was involved at the Earth level, the physical, very physical level,
Right.
with the military that way. So it just happens, you can reverse everything. See, even the bad thing that somebody's using you, you can
Yeah.
wake up and reverse it and use it for people rather than against. And I had no idea they were using me again. I thought I was doing something good for humanity, but they were using the information
You
against
must,
humanity,
you must
basically.
have been shocked when you found out.
Yeah, it was crazy because also there's a couple of clients who saw me doing it.
Uh-huh.
It's like a big military under the, it's called a Great Lakes underwater facility, military base. It's under the water floor. Um, yeah, and
Or is
but
that
I
big?
did disconnect though with my own will when
Yes.
I woke up.
Right.
Uh, so I mean, that's what you do because everybody's in this at this plane is used, or they try to infiltrate you, they try to use you, they try to do something like this to you. My ears are hurting, so recording, I guess.